I'm not sure that many of you have come across anything like we are going to talk about today. We are going to talk about the purpose or the essence of parenting. The essence of parenting, the purpose of parenting. Unfortunately, most people in our world don't even understand there is a purpose to parenting. Father, bless this session. I feel so much responsibility for this session. I feel so much burden that people should get it. Father, help us to open our eyes and ears and mind to hear and understand exactly the things that you want us to learn. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so the topic of today is, what is the purpose of parenting? Unfortunately, many people don't even know there is a purpose to parenting, or there should be a purpose to parenting. What do we call parenting? Most of the time, what we call parenting is just a bunch of emotions and nothing else. Okay, before I go ahead, you know what I want us to do? Because I really want your 100% concentration here, and I want you to get it. Let me ask you this question, everyone. You are going to give me an exam before we start. My question is this. What will you say is the purpose of parenting? Jen Ragovsky said, to make you go crazy. Yeah, if you're not careful, parenting could make you go crazy, for sure. If you're not careful, parenting could just drive you crazy. It could drive people crazy, especially if you're not prepared for it. Parenting could drive you crazy. That is so sure. That is so true. But I want to hear you. I want to hear you. What is the purpose of parenting? I want to know your answer. You might write it, you might not write it, but so that you would know how far you are from the reality by the time I begin to give you the response and the answer. All right? So by the time I begin to give you answer, you will know exactly where you were and what you got right or wrong. Okay, Rasmussen says, prepare the next generation. Okay. Pearl David said, to nurture, guide, and teach. Okay. Daniel Oshoma said, to raise children who will give you rest. When you get old, very original answer. Very original answer. Excited. Raise children who will give you rest, who will not give you trouble while you are getting old. That is an original thought right there, Daniel. Excited. Okay, Anastasia said, to raise sons and daughters of the kingdom to carry out the Father's purpose on earth. Pastor, okay, not bad, not bad. Religious enough. Your answer is religious enough, Yeah, it's Christian enough. Olamide said, to raise up godly and well-disciplined people. Okay, not bad. Adelaja, my namesake. Neki said, parenting is to provide guidance and direction to your children. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Nkiru said, to help them find and take up their God-given purpose. Okay, not bad, not bad. Ayodeji, to train, nurture, develop, mentor, and lead children. To where though, Ayodeji? Where you lead them? Jen Rogovsky said, pay back from your parents. Okay, not bad. Daniel said, not to carry bodies when you will be offloaded. Usheshuku said, to raise godly seeds. Not bad, yeah, those are good religious words. To raise godly seeds. Okay, not bad. Rochelle White says, to raise up God carriers to know the laws and principles to bring heaven to earth. Not bad, not bad. Folashade, to assist the children fulfill their destiny. Okay, not bad. Ladi Shorunke, to learn how much we need to depend on God. Not bad, not bad. Lola Shorunke, to pass on a good legacy. Not bad. Abosede, to teach them how to love and put them in the ways of the Lord. Not bad. Ohiye, to fulfill their purpose on earth. God-given purpose on earth. Okay, not bad. Omonike, the essence of parenting is to fulfill God's purpose. Okay, the same thing. All right. Adeagbo said parenting or child rearing is the process of promoting and supporting the physical, emotional, social, financial, education, intellectual development of a child from infancy to adulthood. Parenting refers to aspect of raising a child aside the biological parenting. That is dictionary this woman brought to me. Not bad. The purpose of parenting, Sandra is saying, is to raise independent, godly, disciplined children to help them discover their purpose. Not bad. Flair, Karen, Matip, to raise up sons and daughters, preparing them to fulfill God's will on earth. Not bad. She go. Shingo said in Igbo land, to secure your aid. To secure your old age. And that is so true. Especially in Igbo land. That's why you must have a son. Not bad, but not... Okay. All right. Davida says, to make invisible God become visible and multiply his influence in the world. Wow, that is brilliant. Good idea. Well, okay. Let me begin to give you my own response and my own answer, okay? I will say it like this, that many of you, your answers are not bad at all. The answers are very good. Some of the answers, Jerry Ragovsky said, to outnumber the pagans. You make me laugh strong. Okay, let me see here. I wanted to comment on some of the answers we gave. Just for us to know the difference. Anyway, don't worry. So what is parenting? Parenting must have a purpose, all right? So the purpose of parenting, first of all, is to make that individual, that person inside, that person that you want to raise up, is to make him understand life, to make him understand purpose, to make him understand himself, and to make him fulfill that purpose on the earth. Now, basically, it is for you, that is because he cannot understand life without understanding God. He cannot understand purpose without understanding God. He cannot understand himself without understanding God. And at the end of the day, but that is still not the complete answer. That is just to give you a quick, a quick run. But I will say it in a different way, okay? Just let me say it in a different way, in a non-religious manner. Let me say it like this. The purpose of parenting is to discover or to nurture a child into manhood, when I say manhood, I'm not talking about male. I'm talking about into the fullness of his person, into manhood, into full recognition of what it means to be a human being on earth, to be a person, to be a complete person, to become a human being, Unfortunately, many parents think that the only thing you need to do to nurture a baby or to raise a baby or a child, the thing we need to do to parent a child is when that we only need to make them eat, we only need to be able to provide for their food, get them something to eat, and dress them up and make sure that they're not hungry and they are growing very well and they are growing properly. So by that understanding, we are only working to feed their body. But the process of parenting is much more wider than just the body, feeding the body or making sure that your children eat on time. For a lot of parents, they don't even have any understanding that there must be a purpose to parenting. To a lot of parents, their duty is just to make sure that their children eat on time, they wash on time, and maybe they sleep on time, and they wake up on time and go to school on time. That is the whole thing people know about parenting. But parenting is not just about these physical things. Parenting is not just about the ability. In fact, when I was growing up in Africa, my mother and my grandmother and almost all the parents in my neighborhood that I used to know, they used to tell their children that their duty as parents is to make sure that you have food to eat. And I'm sure that's not only in Africa. I'm sure in other places too. Many people thinking that, and especially parents, that's the way fathers behave. Fathers almost behave like that all the time, that their only duty to you as a child, my only duty to you as a child is to make sure that you have food to eat and you go to school. That is what most parents will say. And as a matter of fact, in families where parents are really good, the parents will say, okay, in my part of the country where I come from, in the western part of Nigeria, they are the Yorubas mainly. Almost every parent always say, my duty to you as a parent or as a father or mother is to give you education. Once I give you education, that's it. I've done what I needed to do with you. So they think that, parenting is just about making sure that your children eat, they have something to eat, and you have money to pay for their school fees. That's all. But parenting is much more deeper. Parenting is much more deeper than that. And I want to give you 3 primary goals of parenting. Okay, let me say 5. Let me give you 5 primary goals of parenting. 5 primary goals of parenting, all right? So this my answer, and it's going to take me the whole time we have to give you just these 5 main purpose of parenting. And not just the religious cliches, not just the real, the definitions that we have spoken about, right? But real purpose right now, real purpose, so that you will be able to set your mind at what you want to get with your children going to, being under your roof. What are you targeting? So when you are raising up children, you must know you are targeting something. When you are raising up your children, you must know you are after something. You must be after something. There must be concrete goals. Now, most of the definitions that I've seen here, and beautiful stuff, David said, let the invisible God become visible and multiply his influence on the world. That is more like the purpose of human being. That is like the purpose of human existence on earth, right? But not the purpose of parenting. The question I ask is parenting. And like Pat Adams also is to teach them God's purpose on earth, to grow up, they will not depart from it. That is all like, the not parenting, not the act of parenting. It's more like the purpose for their lives. So what I want to give you now is the purpose of parenting. Parenting, the act of parenting. I'm not saying what purpose you are going to give to the child, but the purpose of parenting. The act itself the fact that you have children that you are watching over, the fact that you have children that you are grooming and that you are rearing, that you are parenting, that. So what is that purpose of that parenting that you are doing? Many of us are dreaming of having children, of having 5 children, 3 children, 1 child, 2 children, and you are thinking, you want to have children. So what is the purpose of parenting? What are you going to be doing in that time? So I'm going to be giving you 5 of them. Number 1, the purpose of parenting is to build character and value system in your child. The purpose of parenting is to build a core value system in that child. The purpose is to build a core value system. What is a core value system? A core value system could be likened to skeleton. It is the spine, the skeleton, the main skeleton, the spine that holds the man up. That you are seeing me now. If there had not been skeleton, if there had no bones, skeleton, bone in my body, I will just collapse and just run about. That is what happens to a child that didn't grow up with a core value system. A core value system. Now, so the purpose is to build character and a core value system in that child. To build character and core value system. So that means that before you even decide to be a parent or to become husband or wife, talk less of before you begin to even accommodate the idea of having children, you yourself must know the core value systems of life and the core value system that you want to transfer or pass across to your children that you will be parenting. It is not enough for you just to say you want to become a father and a mother. Can I have one of you to come? So, yes, sit down. We have to bring this. I want you to be visible. So that we can see. Yeah. Sit down there. So, this is Alona here. Bring your hand. This is Alona. So let's say Alona has decided to get married. So this girl has decided to get married, and she said, I want to have 3 children or 2 children or 1 child. All right, good idea. But what is the idea? Oh, so that I will have my own children, so that I will be able to raise up children. What do you want to give to those children? Okay, you want to have children. Okay, they will be running around in your house like this. One will be coming down, another will be mama, papa, mama. And they'll be crying, ha, ha, and you'll be going to work, you'll be beating yourself in the breast. Oh, I go to work, I work for my children. Oh, okay, have you eaten? Have you eaten? Sit down and eat your food. Sit down and eat your food. Okay. Oh, okay, we are going to bring clothes. You have good clothes. We are wearing good clothes. Oh, my children are beautiful. Are they not beautiful? Look at your sister. Look at your brother. They are beautiful, isn't it? Oh, wow, I'm having children. They look like me. No, it's the father they look like. It's the father they look like. No, it's me they look like. It's me they look like. No, okay. Oh, go to school. Okay, study. Good, be a good student. Okay. Good student. So what is your mark? What did you get? How did you study? So all those mundane things, as if you don't have job, as if you are just looking for a way to get yourself occupied. Is that why you want to have children? Oh, okay, then you are hoping. No, I hope that when these children grow up, I will be old. I know I will be old one day. So when they grow up, and then they will take care of me. That is selfishness. That is being selfish. And that is not thinking about the children. That is not putting the interest of the children ahead first. That is not even doing things for the sake of those children. That is doing things for your own sake. That is egocentrism. And that is going to backfire one day or the other. That will backfire. You shouldn't do that to those children. Why should you bring them to this world? Only because of your egocentric and selfish reasons that you want them to grow up as if they are mechanics, or they are laborers, or they are some, robots that have been created to serve your interest, to live for you. No, they have their own will. They have their own ways. They have their own purpose. They have their own path in life. So to be saying that, no, I'm going to have children so that they will grow up and look after me is selfish. That should not be the reason, that why you are having children. You must have a purpose for having those children. And the purpose, you must have a purpose for wanting to rear and raise up those children. And Daniel Oshomba said, so that they will answer your name. You see? They will answer your name. You yourself that is growing up. Is the purpose of you growing up to answer somebody's name? Is the purpose of you growing up to answer your father's name? Is that the purpose why you are growing up? Do you even remember him every day? Are you waking up in the morning and say, oh, I'm happy, I want to just wake up. I'm just dreaming of having my father's name. Is that the reason why you are alive? Is that the thing you are waking up in the morning to think about? I want to just answer my father's name. You don't even remember our father's name. Everybody has their own lives. So we don't know the purpose of parenting. So we begin to have children because we have instinct, because we have, sexual drive, because we have reproductive organs. So a lot of us are just having children by default, by accident. But there must be, this kind of things are things that we must do intentionally. And that is why we are Homo sapiens. And as Homo sapiens, we must be thinking before we do anything. And so before you have children, you must have a set of value system, a set of goals that you want to accomplish through the life of those children. Some of you even are sad, or you are not happy that you don't have children. Maybe you should actually be thanking God Almighty that you don't have children, because you will not have a purpose for it. You no goal, no purpose, nothing. Daniel says maybe that is why God asked Father Abraham to depart from his father's house to go where he asked him to go, for a purpose. Yes, because the fact that he was born to the world doesn't mean that he had a purpose. And his parents were not there. They were not in the position to give him that purpose. So the very first goal, thank you, my dear, thank you. The very first purpose of parenting is that a parent or parents must have an understanding of what they want to pass across to their child. Before they could get the understanding of what they want to pass across to their child, they must have an understanding of life. And they must have an understanding and a concept of life that they know is worthwhile for that child to grow up to live for. And unfortunately, what happens is that when you give birth to children and without having a set of goals and purpose for them, without having a purpose for your parenting, then the environment determines it for you. So that is why our own children are following the examples that they see around us. That's why the television is more authoritative to you, to your children, than you. That is why the media and entertainment world, Nollywood, Hollywood, and other things like that, they have more influence on your children than you, because you didn't have a set of goals and a set of values that you want to form in them. You didn't build into them any system. You didn't build any core. You didn't put any core value system into them. You didn't build a core structure into them when they were growing up. So, so parenting is about building up a child. Building up a system of character inside that child when he's still from 0 till when he's 17 or 18 years old. From childhood to adulthood, you must help that child to build in him, to construct in him a very concrete, definitive value system that is based on, strong character that will permit him to be able to hold on and abide by those values that you have put into them. So that is the number one reason why that's number one purpose of parenting. So the ability to build a strong character and value system in your child, and what that would do for him is that when life situations come, he will be able to withstand them. When he goes out of the house and when he goes to the society, he knows exactly what he wants. He knows that he cannot be swayed by the society. When he goes among his peers, he will not come under the peer pressure. And the peer pressure will not sway him away from the value system that you already built in him. When you have built a core value system in a child, that person will be able to withstand all the tremors of life. That child will grow up in awareness. That child will grow up in consciousness. That child will grow up and he will be able to withstand any kind of challenge. Let me tell you something about these things I'm talking about now. They are some of these 5 things I'm going to give you. They are the 5 things that make a human being truly human. So your duty is to make your child a true human, truly human. You don't just make your child to be to be biomasses. You don't want your child just to be a bunch of body, a bunch of flesh. You don't want your child just to be human but animal. You don't want your child to just be an animal. You want your child to be a fully grown-up human. You want your child to be a conscientious woman. You want your child to be a fully human being, a homo sapiens, a thinking man, a reasoning man, a logical man, a human being, a personality. You don't want your child to just grow up spineless. And it is this core value and character that makes him to have that spine. It gives him that spine. That is what makes him to withstand any kind of pressure in life. Those are the things that make him to be able to face life. A lot of people are not reared well. A lot of people are not prepared for life. A lot of children are not raised up to be ready to face life. A lot of children don't know how to face life. A lot of children have not been taught how to confront life and how to survive in life and how to win in life, talk less of how to reign in life. So for your child to be able to face life, confront life, and be able to not just survive in life, but rule and reign in life, you must be able to know that your purpose as parents is to put into that child and to construct in that child a core value system. You must be able to know that that child is given to you for the purpose of forming strong character around a core, a given value system. And I'm going to, by the grace of God, give you a set of value system this week, or maybe I might need to extend this teaching to next week if necessary. I will give you a set of value system that you need to form in your child so that your child will be able to grow up normal, so that your child will be able to grow up informed, so that your child will be able to grow up conscientious, consciously, and homo sapiens. So I'm going to give you a set of those value systems, and that you have to build character around. Just like what the spine is to the human body, that is what core value system. Core character, value system. That's what it does in the life of a child. So if you have not done that as a parent, then you could expect anything from your child. You could expect any surprise. You could expect any shock from that child at any time. You cannot predict what to expect from that child. You will not be able to know what to expect. You will not be able to. You will not be able to vouch for your child, because anything could happen to him. It could come under any influence. It could become anything. It could become good or bad. So therefore, children's life becomes accidental. That's why some of the African parents want to have as many children as possible, because you don't know which one will perform. And even some people too in Europe here, they want to have 3 children or 4 children or something, because they don't know which one will perform, which one it will work out for, and which one it will not work out for. We don't know which one. So you are just giving life to children for experiment. You are bringing a whole life to the world just for experimentation. So and they are going to be here for the next 50, 60, 70 years of their life, just roaming around and experimenting. And you parents who are responsible for bringing them out here, you did not give them any direction. You did not build anything inside them. And so they are lost. And so they are living regret. And so they are living pain, perpetual pain, all through their lives. And they don't know what happened, why they are here, and why life is so difficult. So they hate life, they hate their parents, they hate themselves, they hate their own lives. They are lost, they don't have any instruction, they don't have any idea of why they should even be here in the first place. Because a lot of people that we call parents, a lot of people who call themselves papas and mamas, a lot of people who call themselves parents, they don't have any business going into parenting. They don't have any business looking at the opposite sex. They don't have any business even trying to have children. Because having children is not just a biological demand. Having children is a demand of consciousness. Having children is a demand of informed mind. To have children, you must be informed. To have children, you must do it consciously. To have children, you must know what you want to hand over to them. To have children, you must know what you want to give to them. To have children, you must have something to offer. And that's why I've always said that 50% of all people in this world, they have no business thinking of marriage. They have no business thinking of marriage. Marriage is no joke. Marriage is not a biological desires. Marriage is not just about sleeping with each other and getting pregnant and just having some children running about and just bathing them into mystery. Bathing them and bringing them into mystery, pain, and frustrations. And some of those children will live their life cursing you and wishing you never given birth to them in the first place. Why? We've not been taught about parenting. We've not been taught about parenting. Sorry guys, that was the internet. We are back. Sorry for that. So unfortunately, many of us are parents by default. And that's why our children live their lives by accident, by chance. They live a wandering life and a life of no purpose, no intentions, and no instructions. And thank God that we can learn today. Thank God you could change these things and we could spread this word and bring understanding into life and into our children's life. Don't just give birth to children. Don't just be having children like pigs. At least for pigs, there is a purpose. Somebody will cut them and eat them and sell them in the market. Don't just be having children like animals. We are better than animals. Animals don't have purpose. They don't think about purpose. They don't think about intention. They don't think about value system. They don't think about core values. They don't think about character. That's what differentiates us from animals. So we are different from animals majorly by a few things. And these things, if they are not there, if you don't have that core value system, if you don't have that core character, and that was not put in you, what then differentiates you from animal? What that makes you different from animal? The next purpose, the next thing, the next purpose of parenting is, like the first purpose of parenting, like I said, is to build up character and a core value system in a child. The next reason, the next purpose of parenting is to help that child to find a purpose for living. Is to guide that child and help that child to find, to know that there is a purpose to life. There is a purpose to living. And that he has been sent to this world to fulfill a certain purpose and an agenda. And that he is here to discover that purpose. And this family is to help him to reconnect to the author of that purpose, to the person who sent him here, so that he will understand the purpose for which he was born, why he was sent to the world, so that he will be able to live a purposeful and a goal-driven life, a purpose-driven life. So that is the second assignment, the second goal, the second purpose of parenting. So parenting should all be around giving that child a direction in life, helping him to find his way, his direction, not waiting for school until he goes to school so that the school will now be be helping. You want the school to help him to find his purpose. No, he should have an idea of what his purpose is from home, so that when he goes to school, he only goes to find out which concrete area or what are the instruments that he could specialize in, so that he could, be able to function in that particular aspect of his calling that he already knew. So let's say a child knows that his purpose is to do medicine. School is just to help him to know what area of medicine and how to become that person, and to give him the skills that are necessary to function. Now, this second purpose is, or this second reason for parenting is also another reason why a human being is human. So one thing that makes a human human is a core value system, character. Second thing that makes a human being human, a full human, is the ability to live for a goal, the ability to live for a purpose. When a human being does not live for anything, when a human being does not understand his need to live, his need to live for a goal or a purpose, he is wasted. That human being is wasted. That human being is lost. That human being becomes a wanderer on the earth. So as parents, one of the core purpose and one of the most important things you ever do to your child is to help him know he's not just here to wear clothes. He's not just here to go to parties. He's not just here to dance around and make noise and waste his life. He's not just here to eat and drink until he falls and die and perishes. He's not just here on earth to just go and, and just have fun all through his life. That he's here to carry out an assignment. He's supposed to be told and be guided into discovering that assignment and into fulfilling that assignment. The reason why a lot of us just end up looking for who to marry and where to have children and who to sleep with is because we don't have a purpose. So we end up doing the same thing that the whole world around us is doing. So we see that the whole world around us is marrying and having children and just forming family. So we adopt that as our own purpose and begin to say, okay, that should be the reason why I'm alive. So because we have not been given a sense of direction and purpose, we just copy anything that happens around us. We see that everybody around us is just going to work and working for 8 hours every day. We just assume automatically that is the purpose for which everybody is supposed to live. And we begin to, strive to go and get to school and get education and get a job or a profession so that we too could be, going to work 8 hours a day. My God, ignorance. Ignorance is a terrible thing. And that is why if you have not shared this message yet, I will beg you to go ahead and look for the share button right now and quickly share it. You need to share this message as fast as possible. You need to share it and spread it as wide as possible as well. Because this message could deliver you, could start a new day, a new beginning, could give your children and your next generation a totally new foundation. So you end up seeing people who are alive or who wake up in the morning and they just want to do everything that other people are doing. So they spend their life just going to sell their lives, to sell themselves out as workers, as slaves in some other person's vineyard, in some other person's purpose. So instead of them fulfilling their own purpose, instead of them fulfilling their own agenda for which they were sent to this world, they don't even end up discovering it. They don't discover it, so they get hired and employed by other people that have purpose, and they become now like a mechanism, or like horses, like cattle, or like tools for fulfilling other people's instruments. They are just tools and instruments fulfilling other people's purposes. They get employed to work for other people's purposes. They get employed to fulfill other people's purposes. They get employed and given peanuts so that they will satisfy other people's desires because they don't have their own purpose. So they are just being employed as just tools, just as instruments, just as people in the farm used to use the cattle and the cows and to do their farming. To them, they are just like instruments. They are just like mechanism. That's how many people are being employed today to fulfill other people's destinies and other people's lives. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that in parenting, many people have never thought of purpose. But in the real sense, one of the most important reasons for parenting is to give your children a sense of purpose, to give him a sense of purpose for what he's here to do on earth, for him to know that he's here to fulfill the purpose of God for his life, to discover the purpose of God for his life, and to carry it out. And that is why he goes to school. He goes to get education so that he will be able to be skillful in bringing out that purpose. He goes to get training so that he will be able to better or perfectly carry out the assignment for which he was packaged from heaven. Every one of us has been packaged with an assignment. Every one of us has been assembled in heaven to do a purpose, to bring out a purpose on the earth. And most people never even think about it because the parenting process never even mentioned it in the first place. So if you are just joining this platform and you don't know the purpose for which God created you or your children, and you've not taught your children about this, you might want to go through my list of messages. Or this list of messages, we always put it here as a link every time on this program, live program as it's going on now, or in the beginning or at the end of the program. You could follow the links. You'll find a link anywhere on on my Facebook here and on this my program. So follow it. Go and look for the link that talks about calling and purpose. Follow them. Go and listen to them, and so that you learn how to discover yours, and then how to give the purpose to your children. So there must be purpose in parenting. Parenting is not just about feeding your children and making them eat, and make sure that you are good, and then you call them, I'm a good parent. So what makes you a good parent? Because you provide food to eat. So if pigs provide food to eat for their children, they are already good parents. If dogs that are in your neighborhood provide food to their children, they are already good parents. It's not about the body. It's not about feeding the body. It's a purpose to parenting. Your parenting must carry purpose with it. Your parenting must have an agenda. Your parenting must have an intention. And the very first purpose of parenting is to build a core value system of character into your child. And the second purpose of parenting is what I just said, to give that child a sense of purpose, a sense of mission on the earth, for him to know that he's sent here on a mission. He's here to fulfill God's mandate and God's mission for his life. Number 3 purpose for which God sends people here, for which God gives us children that will parent them. Number 3 purpose of parenting is the ability, you have to nurture in that child the ability for him to develop, to self-develop. You have to cultivate in that child, nurture in that child, and teach him and instruct him and let him know the importance and the ability of continuous growth, of self-development, of self-improvement, self-development. So self-development, self-improvement, and continuous growth is another purpose for parenting. A parent has to nurture his children in the system, in a way of thinking that child knows that he has to work on himself every day. That child knows that he has to improve himself every day. That child, is conscious of his self-development. He develops himself mentally. He develops himself emotionally. He develops himself physically. He develops himself spiritually. So this is a thing that must be developed in that child. There are a lot of people that are not even conscious of self-development. They don't see the need for self-development because they've never been taught. That culture of self-development has to be inculcated and imbibed by your children through your guidance. So a parent is supposed to guide his children to love self-development, to love self-support, self-discipline, self-development, to love self-improvement. You need to let them know that self-improvement is part of life. Because life is progressive and life is always moving forward. The whole earth is moving forward. It's rotating around the sun. So if a man is not taught to be always to always develop himself, the life itself overtakes him. He remains behind in life. He is left behind because life is progressive. Life itself is moving forward. So if you are not moving forward together with life, if you are not moving faster than life, you'll be left behind and you'll be useless. You'll be rendered redundant in the world. You will be useless in life. You will never be able to compete with your colleagues. You will never be able to fulfill your purpose. You are all wasted. Everything begins to go wrong for you. So one of the most important reasons for parenting is to be able to cultivate that culture of self-development in a child, to cultivate that habit of working on yourself constantly, continuous self-improvement, that ability to be able to put that love for self-development, for self-growth, for self-improvement in a child is one of the greatest purposes of parenting. That's one of the greatest purposes of parenting. Next point, number 4 point, number 4 purpose of parenting. Number 4 reason for parenting. Number 4 purpose of parenting is a parent has to cultivate in his children the resilience necessary to withstand and overcome trials. To withstand and overcome trials. To withstand and overcome trials. Resilience. You've got to be able to build in your children resilience, perseverance, and the ability to overcome, to be resilient in front of trials, challenges, and to be able to overcome them. A lot of parents fail because they don't build this into their children. And a lot of children have lost their path and have lost their direction in life because they have not been told and they have not been taught to be resilient. They have not been taught to suffer. To suffer. You must teach your children that suffering is part of life. You must teach your children that they must be able to withstand suffering. They must be able to withstand troubles, crisis. You must be able to teach your children that, you must be able to build in your children that stamina. Yeah, that's the word, stamina, to be able to endure, to be able to persevere, to be able to, to be able to, go through any life situations. So the ability to build, one of the purposes of parenting is to build stamina in your children. Build stamina to be able to persevere, to be able to endure, to be able to, weather any kind of difficulty, any kind of challenge. So I'm able to overcome them. That resilience, that ability, that stamina to be able to stand in any situation, that resilience is what makes you a human being. If you see a human being today, even if it's 50 years old or 30 years old or 100 years or 40 years old, and it doesn't have that ability, it doesn't have that resilience, it doesn't have that confidence, that perseverance, it doesn't have that stamina to be able to go through life situations, he's just a pet. He's just a puppet. He's just a puppet. He's nothing. He's zero. He's a victim in life. He's a victim in life. And that is sad. That is sad. And finally, the final purpose of parenting is the ability to procure skills, mental skills and ability, the ability to think, critical thinking, analytical thinking, the ability to use your mind. That is the next purpose. That's the fifth purpose of parenting. So fifth purpose of parenting is to teach a child to use his mind. Because that is one of the things that really makes a human human. The ability for him to do everything consciously, and the ability for him to apply his mind in critical situations. This is called discretion. So discretion is another reason for discretion is another reason for parenting. You must teach your children to think, strategic thinking, analytical thinking, critical thinking. That is discretion. So those 5 things
These 5 reasons are reasons for parenting. So if you are not having these things in your mind as a parent, those your children will curse you one day, or they will despise you one day, or they will regret you bringing them to this world one day. But that's why, again, I said that a lot of people that are giving birth to children, that are marrying, having children, they don't have anything doing with that in marriage at all. 50% of all human beings on earth, they just don't. You know, it's just a waste of time. Things will become worse. Things will become worse, actually. Things will become worse for them and for their children and for the next generation, just because they are just fulfilling a physiological mandate rather than an informed mandate. A lot of them don't have any idea about parenting, talk less of the purpose of parenting. I think this is really important topic, the purpose of parenting, the purpose and essence of parenting, the purpose and essence of parenting. Well, thank you so much, everyone. It was nice being with you today. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Bye.